is our Director of International Attorneys and Client Relations around the world.
Building an international team of attorneys.
But just doing things in a different way.
Well, they call JJ, they schedule a video call with JJ because I'm their go-to person. I think that's the kind of relationship you need to have.
Hi, I'm here with JJ Thiart, and JJ is our Director of International Attorneys and Client Relations around the world. So introduce yourself, JJ. Tell me who you are. First, state your name, which are you?
Yeah, so JJ Thiart, I'm a Director of Client Relations here at Trademarkia. I started as an attorney in 2017. And, about 2 years ago, I was promoted to director and I started building an international team of attorneys. Pretty much it does what I did in South Africa, where we are client focused. We wanted specific attorneys in specific territories that could speak specific languages, and just to improve the relationship, improve the service and build strong relationships with our clients.
That's great. So let's get to know you a little bit, JJ. Where did you grow up?
Okay, so I was born and raised in Pretoria, South Africa. It's up north in a province called Gauteng.
Where are you at right now?
Well, right now I'm privileged of being in San Diego at an Inter conference.
What's in?
Inter is an international trade organization conference where brands in the IP sphere come together once a year. Or, sometimes international, sometimes in the US. This year we're in San Diego. And it's great just to be around all, the intellectual property sphere and meet some of our competitors and, potentially people that we can collaborate with as well.
So what do you do at Trademark? Describe your day.
So I have many hats during the day. I personally still manage a portfolio of about 800 clients that, and that part is a very important part of our business, the client relations part of, sort of adding that additional value to managing clients' portfolios. And then of course I have, like I mentioned, I have the international team of attorneys that I also manage on a day-to-day basis.
Which countries does Trademarkia have attorneys in?
So we were fortunate enough to build have really good attorneys in Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil. We currently have Poland, UK, EU, South Africa, Nigeria, Vietnam, and Australia.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And you manage all those?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Huh? Well, I mean, if I could, there'd be more hours in a day. But yeah, it's not like I built this team overnight. So you learned from previous experiences. I think we started with the attorney in Canada and Mexico, and it's just finding your feet, becoming better at onboarding people, and then, to be honest, the role that we perhaps onboarded the first attorney, it's such a fast-growing environment that we onboard people differently. The newer attorneys, we have more of a focus on country managers and creating a local website, an entity around them, because we felt we've come to the realization that if we were this US entity that could file anywhere in the world, but people found only our US website, it didn't inspire a lot of trust. So we took the next step of actually creating local websites that has a very local flavor and speaks to the local community, and by that building a bigger brand or a more pronounced brand for Trademarkia in those territories.
So tell me, what is Trademarkia?
Right. So Trademarkia, to me, whether right or wrong, I see it as a fusion between an e-commerce model and a legal and the IP legal services model. And really the premise behind it is that how do we make law and IP more accessible to small, medium-sized enterprises, young entrepreneurs. In my experience, coming from a big corporate firm, I could never service those types of clients because our fees were just far too high. So it's a really good, innovative way of, moving away from the old brick and mortar, becoming more accessible to people, working remotely, keeping your overheads down so that you can, you can provide the same services to someone at a much more affordable and fixed price.
So what makes Trademarkia different? Like, what are the things that make us different?
Well, a lot of things. I mean, if you look at, let's look at a traditional law firm. I was there, right? So if a client wanted to see us, they had to schedule a meeting. We'd have to see when we had time. They had to pay for a consultation. They had to take time off work to come and see us. So there could be a matter of days that go by before they even had a conversation with you. And right now, the way we work is someone could literally imagine you're a young entrepreneur. You invested so much of your time and energy into a brand, and you know at the back of your mind, wait, I have to protect my brand, right? I need to register a trademark. And then you go on Google and you find our website and you find myself, and you can literally in the same afternoon have scheduled a free 15-minute consultation with me, be on a call with me, which we love to do because we know the questions. It's about how does it work? How long does it take to register?
Really a call
What's the
or is it
cost?
video?
It's a video call, right?
Right, right.
We like to sort of add the personal touch of a video call, so they also can see that they're actually speaking to a real person, and and that goes a long way because so many times we could have gone, that conversation goes through finalizing filing details to them making an online payment, and the very next day you could file, and people could have an application from not knowing what to do day one to having a filing the next day within the comfort of their own home without even having to leave home or office.
So what makes a good trademark country manager in your view?
Well, someone that is I always say that you can always do the work that comes across your desk. I think a good attorney does more than that, right? Always look at something holistically. Take that opportunity. If you're going to spend time on someone's portfolio, have a look at it open-minded and think a little bit out of the box. Go the extra mile. Look at your client's website. Look at their portfolio. Look at any news articles on their website, things that they've just done, new things that they might have gone, maybe territories they're expanding in, partnerships that they formed. There's always something there, and as the IP attorney, it's your responsibility to be on top of those things, to make to make some suggestions, and lead them in protecting their portfolio.
And how do you think the profession is going to change over the next few years?
Well, a lot actually. I mean, it's great now as a company where we use AI. I mean, something that might have taken me a half an hour to do takes me now 5 minutes because I can use ChatGPT and a lot of other AI and apps. But the truth of it is, if I can do it, then maybe in a year or two, our clients will be doing it as well. So, the landscape, I think, as far as prosecution and filing goes, is going to be challenging for us if that's going to be our only focus. Because I feel like clients are savvy and clients are getting more tech savvy, and they are going to be able to use ChatGPT and probably cut us out at the filing stage at least and file some of those things themselves. So, we need to find ways that we can stay in the game, stay relevant, and provide, that's always a value add. So what can I add that AI now perhaps have taken away from us? What else can I do to add value to that client?
The relationship building is really important.
Very, very important.
Why is it important?
Well, because okay. So AI might be in the game, but the people still like that personal interaction. And even if we're a big firm, we have a lot of attorneys, but when my clients personally, when they want something, they email JJ or they call JJ or they schedule a video call with JJ because I'm their go-to person. I think that's the kind of relationship you need to have. Yes, they know that obviously all of their things are managed by Trademarkia, but they have a go-to central point of contact. It doesn't matter which country it is. If they have a problem, they know that they can just ask me. I know exactly what's going on in their portfolio and I can lead them.
Great. And so if someone's new on your team, what are you looking for someone new on your team? What makes them stand out?
Yeah. So I'm looking for someone that's charismatic, someone that will be good with clients, someone that is tech savvy, someone that doesn't mind doing Loom videos and having video calls with clients. Because for me, that's the key, right? For me, that's where you win or lose a client. If you can, it doesn't matter what the situation is. I mean, sometimes there could be difficult situations with client matters, but it's the way that you manage the client's expectations and your mannerisms. So I look at someone that's very charismatic, of course, good legal skills, but also very charismatic. We also love attorneys that are proactive. We give them an opportunity to build a practice within our firm. So we need leaders, people that proactively could build a practice within our firm, and we give them a lot of leeway to do that as well. So people that you don't need to micromanage, people that can really lead, and you can hand over a lot of responsibility to.
That's great. And so tell me about where do you see growth opportunities as a company in Trademarkia today?
Well, I mean, so right now we have our freelance project, which is quite interesting.
What is that? We describe that.
Yeah. So our freelance project. So just to sort of take our company as a whole, we have our in-house attorneys, which were traditionally always in the US, and now I've created this international team. So we have in-house attorneys in certain parts of the world, but also we have this old traditional system of having agents, which isn't necessarily a reciprocal relationship. It's not a collaboration. So we want to move away from that, and we want to rather move towards a freelance attorney system where we have collaborators, people that come on board that can benefit from our infrastructure, from our knowledge, from our ability to generate 6,000 clients, new clients a year, and also given us the ability to create, as I mentioned before, we found that the way to build trust is to have a local website or local presence in particular countries. And with this freelance project, that gives us the opportunity to do exactly that.
Great. And how's Trademarkia growing in Africa, in South Africa, as well as across Africa?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I'm a South African attorney. So for me, it's great. I think we offer something currently that no one else does. As I mentioned, someone could that on that morning go online and how do I register a trademark? Same day, be on a video call with me, and we could file the next day. And they didn't even have to leave the comfort of their home. So, that's setting a trend. And I believe that, that sort of changes the landscape a lot. And we also want to, e-commerce in Africa hasn't been huge. If you look at a silver lining, I suppose after COVID, people have become more trusting of e-commerce models. Our groceries are now online. People buy more things online. So that's kind of really opened the market for us in the last 2 years. I would say that prior to March 2023, we didn't do a lot of filings, and we did now doing currently about 6 times as many trademark filings as we did before. Amazon has also come into South Africa. We have our own local Take-A-Lot. So there's a lot of e-commerce sellers, people that, with the high unemployment rates in South Africa as well, we have a great nation and a lot of innovative people, talented people, and they need to find other ways of supporting their families and making money. And e-commerce has become quite important in that field.
What's Seller Grow? It's just hits Trademarkia help with that.
Yeah, so Seller Grow is something. So we love always looking at, beyond just the trademarks or what we can offer them in terms of registration. We also look at holistically what can we offer them, whether it's from company registration, setting up infrastructure. So that's where Seller Grow comes in. So it would imagine someone from South Africa wants to sell their product in the US. Let's say it's a wine farm that wants to export to the US. We can help them with the entire infrastructure of doing that. From freight services to importing to registering company to setting up and selling online, and the advertising at whatever packages that suit your need. Even if it's selling on Amazon, we could sort of on a certain price structure help you set that up, the design of it, the ad spend on it. It's very similar to Google ad spend, where you have to spend a certain amount of money to feature on Amazon if someone perhaps looks for wine.
Great. And so, Trademarkia has lots of clients. How, as a country manager, how should you decide which clients to spend most time with?
Well, I think all clients are very important clients, right?
Yeah.
So I think the time that you spend on a client is perhaps associated with the size of their portfolio. So we have a lot of, and that's just a question of time, because you have a lot. I mean, I have a client that started with me in 2019 with one filing, and he now has a portfolio of over 100 marks. So it starts small, but it's the kind of, I think for every new client, give them that personal touch, and we do with our videos, and start that relationship early and build on that, because you never know which one client that has an idea, and we've all been there. You have this great idea and you hope it'll work out, could turn into a client that later has a portfolio of 200 more. So I would, time-wise, you obviously spend more time on clients with bigger portfolios, but I think the quality of the time that you give doesn't matter whether it's a big client or small client.
Great. And why do you think clients go to lawyers? Why do they even go to Trademarkia?
Well, I think, again, our client base is small, medium-sized enterprises. If I just speak from a South African perspective, people really don't know how. They know that they need to register their brand. They know that they need to somehow protect their brand, but they don't know how to go about it. What's the process? How long does it take? What the cost is? So I think that's where we can add a lot of value, in guiding them through that, managing their expectations and assisting them with it. And I think, that's just the filing stage, which perhaps, if they wanted to, they could figure that out and do it themselves. But I think, the post-filing parts is where attorneys can add a lot of value, especially with office actions, oppositions, enforcement of the rights. I think the mistake a lot of clients make is they think if they register something, it's automatically protected, but it's not. You have to proactively protect it, right? And I